Have you ever felt paralyzed by a looming fear? What if I told you there was a simple pen and paper method designed to pull you back from the edge of anxiety? My name is Kieran Hedley. I'm a professional anxiety coach for 4.5 years, and I'm studying neuroscience and biomedical science at the University of New England. You see, for most of my life, I've struggled with anxiety and depression. When I attended a Vipassana, which is 10 days, 100 hours of meditation, during that time, a lot of the anxiety came up in me. Obviously, we're ruminating so consistently in my mind to the point where I was starting to experience insane panic during my meditation. And luckily, my mind was able to conjure up a safety net, which is an exercise that I'm going to share with you, that was able to alleviate a lot of the anxiety during that time of meditation. I was suffering an insane rumination about my girlfriend at the time potentially leaving me, and it was causing me so much anxiety. Yet once I started answering the questions of the safety net exercise, it was insane how much anxiety started to alleviate from me. Since then, this method has helped dozens of clients of mine who I've shared this method with, and I'm very certain that it will help you too. Stay tuned for the end of this video because I've got some things for you. See, in order for there to be anxiety in the system, there must first be a perceived fear or threat. Now, this threat is perceived based on past memory associated to current events. So if I've had a terrible relationship in the past or I've been cheated on, naturally I can correlate that event to the current event of my current relationship. If I've had a business go bust in the past, naturally that fear is going to be much stronger in a current business experience I might be having. So memory enriches experience, and recognize that it's not the experience itself that I'm afraid of or the object that I'm afraid of most. It's the consequence of that experience or object. It's not so much losing the business or losing the relationship that I'm afraid of, but what is the consequence of that? What does that bring me? That's the terrifying part. Example, if you go skateboarding, is it skateboarding that you're afraid of, or is it falling off the skateboard that you're afraid of? Now, why are you afraid of falling off the skateboard? Well, it hurts. But what if I put you in a juggernaut suit and no matter what happened on the skateboard and you fell off or rolled or twisted and it couldn't hurt because of the fact that this juggernaut suit would save you? Would you be afraid of skateboarding then? So you can recognize that it's the consequence of the experience that is actually the trigger of the fear. And when we eliminate that potential consequence, we can actually reduce or even eliminate the fear or anxiety that's associated with the object or the experience. So get a pen and paper ready or a journal. This is how you do safety nets. Excuse my 5-year-old handwriting, but the first step is define the fear. What is the thing that is causing, triggering, creating anxiety, fear, stress within your system? What is that? Define it. So example, potentially losing my partner. So that of course is a reference that I'm going to use today as I go through the safety nets as the example. Another example is not having enough money, or another example might be social situations. That's a very common one. Step 2 is to rationalize it. List out the facts and legitimacies surrounding the fear. So my fear of losing my partner, I'd write out exactly what that fear is based on. Why am I afraid of that? What is causing that potential fear? And what are those intricacies about? So I'm afraid of losing my partner because we're very close. I don't want to lose the companionship. I'd feel incredibly lonely. I'd feel like I'm not worthy of love. And of course, I really love that person, so therefore I wouldn't want to lose that. The reasons why I'm potentially afraid is because of the alcohol that I know this person was about to go on a trip to consume. I have a past experience with past partners where there was cheating involved because of alcohol. So I'm recognizing the legitimacy of my fear and where that's coming from, why I'm afraid, and I'm taking an observational standpoint at the facts. Now we get to the core of the exercise, the actual safety nets. So once we understand the challenge, let's understand the potential solution. So your first step is to write down 3 potential ways you can reduce the likelihood of the event happening. So for me, with my experience with my partner, it was planning a conversation to have after I got out of my Vipassana, looking into ways I can reduce the reasons for my anxiety around that potential loss. So that could include therapeutic approaches, it could include learning more practices like the safety nets exercise, and the other one is learning to be a better boyfriend. So maybe chatting to her about what she wants in a partner more deeply. Once you've written those down, what are 3 potential solutions if the worst case scenario were to happen? So if the event of her cheating was to happen, obviously that's a very unideal situation, but it's important to look at this because it's reducing the intensity of the potential consequence. Again, I might come back to therapy or different variations of exercises that I can do to try help myself, or it might be next time I look for a partner that doesn't align with more of that party girl type of vibe. Now we talk about potential solutions because it's not saying that this event will definitely happen. Plus, these are just ideas, regardless of how bad or terrible they might be. The idea there is to start producing more ideas from that. This is an interesting one. 3 potential opportunities. If the worst case scenario was to happen, if that was to happen and I was to lose her, I would have the opportunity to spend more time on my business, which I've actually been missing. I would have the opportunity to spend more time on my running. So I've been lacking time in other areas of my life that I would get back. That's an opportunity. Even though it's not a desirable or as desirable as this relationship that I was having at the time, it was almost a feeling of relief when I realized that. It's like, oh, okay, it's not as bad as I thought. I actually get this. I kind of missed the experience of dating. I know some people hate it, but I kind of like it. And I was like, cool, there's another one. And I'll also have an opportunity to move cities, which is something I've been craving. And then the last one is 3 growth or lesson possibilities. One thing's for sure is it will certainly grow my resilience. It will absolutely make me face the deeper trauma and challenge that is there for me that I've been avoiding for most of my life. It would build a greater capacity to handle challenges that are unideal for me. And I really think it would teach me how to be even more okay in aloneness and not being in a relationship. So these were possibilities and opportunities in terms of the ways it could grow me or lessons I could learn. It would also teach me more about what to look for in potential future partners. Step 4 is visualize overcoming. So what that means is reducing what it feels like to reduce the likelihood of this event, to have a potential solution on the other side of the event, to have potential opportunities on the other side of the event, and the ways that it would grow you and lessons you will learn if the event were to occur. Experience what that would feel like on the other side of that and start seeing it. There's a beautiful rewiring or reprogramming process that starts to occur neurologically. So I'm going to give you a progress tracker, a template of how to do the safety nets exercise so you don't need to write it out yourself, and access to a community. And guess what? For free. Just make sure you stay till the end so you know how to use it. All you have to do is download using the link below, access to the template itself of the safety nets exercise. Once you've downloaded the safety nets exercise, you can go over here on Google Sheets, you go open file picker, you go upload, and then you simply drag and drop the safety nets download exercise here. Okay, so once you've downloaded the safety nets exercise, it's very easy to use. There's the steps in terms of how to use it, as I've already explained. You define the fear, as I've already explained. You answer the questions in blue, and you overlay the text. So as you can see, you're just running through the text there. If you have additional methods or additional steps that you're wanting to add, you can always insert a row. Very simple. And remember to always visualize the outcome. Now, you can duplicate, as I've mentioned in the notes, right here, in order to make sure that you're not having to overlay old data. You can go to the progression graph down the bottom here, and you can then, therefore, as well, rate how you've been feeling beforehand and how you felt after, just so you can get a general idea of how you're progressing through the work that you're doing. So it'll be showcased here on this graph, and you can always add more situations further down the line as well and expand on the graph. So very easy to use. Just fill it out whenever anxiety starts to arise, or when you can start feeling anxiety start to tickle your nervous system a little bit. Jump on and fill out this exercise. After you've done repetitions of this, you'll find that you'll be able to do it on the go. Oh yeah, and below is a link to my community. You can join for free. There you'll get access to a whole lot of content, interviews, tools just like these ones that I've been sharing today, and some guided meditation tools as well as fantastic support from a whole lot of peers that are going through a similar thing. I really hope to see you there.